Hello and welcome to round 3 of Tier 2 of ALR's GT7 Championship. We're in Season 8. My name is Ross Thorm. I'm actually one of the Tier 2 drivers doing some post-commentary for Atlanta. This was a race that happened nearly 2 weeks ago, but we've had some trouble with our commentators, so I will be taking the reins and doing the Atlanta races. So we're going to start with the sprint race, and to be honest, I don't actually remember what happened, so let's see what the grid order is. So we've got Payan on pole. Jack doing really well, my teammate getting second place in the Nissan, and Chris in third place and Owen in fourth. So these are the 4 title challengers, and they did manage to lock out the front 2 rows. And then we got Andy Winters in 5th, Woozy in 6th in his AMG. We got Funk in 7th in the McLaren, and Harry, also known as Mighty Mini Smiley, is the highest placed medium runner in 8th place. Then we got Hims in 9th on the softs, Taps on the softs in 10th, who's Payad's teammate, and then I'm in 11th on the mediums. Nobbles also on the mediums in 12th, so him and his teammate in the Fords not having a lot of confidence in the soft tyres for this race. DDK in the McLaren also on the mediums, and Ben in the Vantage on the mediums as well. So yeah, quite a mixed bag. Most people on the softs obviously think that they can get it done, but at the end of the race, they will be completely dead, so the medium-tired runners, if they manage to keep their noses clean, could have a chance of getting decent results. So anyway, let's get started on our 15-minute sprint race. Let's see who gets the best start. And the lights are off, away we go. Looks like a pretty even start. You can see Funk coming through behind, but the top 4 pretty much exactly as they were at the start. Looks like Payan's got a bit of an advantage over Jack, who's getting a bit harassed by Chris going through this really tight sector 1 where overtaking isn't really possible. Let's see what goes on a bit further down, as cars are going too wide in corners where it's really difficult. Looks like Funk's being pushed off by Hims, but he rejoins. Not too many major dramas, but further back, yeah, you've got Mighty going all sorts of wrong down near the back, and DDK must have had an incident as well. But let's rejoin the front as we enter the 2 trickiest corners of the track. We're approaching the only real straight that we've got as well, which will give Payan a bit of breathing space ahead of Jack, who has a worse top speed on a track like this compared to the cars around him, and that is exactly why Chris is having a look around the outside as we approach the chicane at the end of the straight. But Jack's going to protect the inside here, and yeah, Chris tucks in behind him, and that gives Jack a great little exit there. And does that mean that Owen might have a run on Chris as we head to the start-finish straight for the second lap? Not quite. So working out perfectly for Payan at the moment. He's just he's probably put two and a half seconds ahead of Jack at the moment. As Chris gets a little bit wide there, is that going to open the door for Owen, who's right behind him now? Compromises Chris's entry into this next corner. As Andy is really keeping up with his top 4 as well. He's really dropped Hims behind him. That's Woozy, sorry, not Andy. As it looks like Chris and Owen are gonna, yeah, Chris has got a penalty now, so that's probably gonna drop him back a couple of places. Andy's getting a little bit wide, and he's gonna be compromised going down the straight with that exit as well. So Woozy's gonna probably get past him before the penalty zone, which is just coming up as well. And he might have a little bit of a run on Owen. Let's join the battle. I was on the wrong car. Yeah, Owen protects the inside, and that's just about enough to protect third place for now. This is a really great performance from Woozy so far. He's struggled a little bit in the opening couple of rounds, and he hasn't been fighting the front runners at all, so he's really got his act together for this race. As he looks for a really late lunge down the inside, Owen kind of leaves the door open a little bit. There's space for both of them, but Owen manages to keep P3 for now. And this battling is allowing Andy Winters and Chris behind to close in. So Chris actually dropped an extra place there. Woozy goes a little bit wide. Very easy to do in this first sector. Let's see, what's Jack up to? He's actually closing in on Payan. So I'm going to keep an eye on that on the mini-map, but I'm going to keep with this group of cars because any little mistake is going to punish someone really harsh down this straight. Andy in his Vantage doesn't have great straight line speed either, so even though he's really close the gap to Woozy there, he probably is going to be a bit more concerned about Chris behind him. And then there's a huge gap. Yeah, it doesn't look like any moves will happen here. Let's see what's happening. Ben, who's Andy's teammate in the exact same livery, really cool monster livery in 7th. And Tap's trying to chase him down, so he's having a pretty decent race so far. And it looks like Mighty Mini Smiley's managed to recover pretty well, as there's a little train behind him with Funk and myself. So this isn't great news for Funk, who's on the soft tyres here, and everyone around him's on the mediums. What happened? What happened to Ben? Let's rewind that a little bit. Because he was in 7th. As I said, he was comfortably ahead of Tap. And all of a sudden he was right at the back. Ooh. And he clatters the wall, gives himself some damage as well while he's at it. That's really unfortunate, and he's lost pretty much all the space, all the places there. Anyway, let's rejoin the front again. So Payan is defending hard against Jack at the moment. They have very similar tyre wear as well. Owen looks like he's got a little bit of breathing space for now, but this group of 4 cars are really close. Jack also with the fastest lap, which just show that he's catching Payan. And it looks like Andy Winters not only has a penalty, but he's lost only half a second, but he's lost a spot to Chris, which is really important for Chris. He is in the championship hunt. He needs to be finishing as high as possible. Still hasn't got a win in ALR, despite having a crazy amount of podiums both last season, and he's carried that on this season as well. So it does. A win probably isn't too far away. This is still very much soft tyre territory, so the likes of Mighty Mini Smiley here, who's still holding off Funk, and he's catching Tap actually. Tap must have had a little mistake there. So pretty decent race for Harry, who's one of our newer drivers. And he's in a car that is handful to drive, definitely. Meanwhile, I'm coming under pressure from Nobbles there. I was battling with the 2 in front the lap previous. I had a lot of trouble with this track, to be honest. Hims and Ben. It looks like DDK got disconnected there. He was in last place anyway. Heard some screeching there, but everything looks to be in order. Actually, what happened to Chris? That might have been the screeching. So yeah, he was in P5 comfortably ahead of Andy just as we left them. Oh, just a bit too keen on the brakes, and yeah, that's a bad spin. So what's that going to do to Chris? 7th. Yeah. Down to P10, so another recovery drive, but it's a bad time of the race for that to happen because the soft tyres are going to start going off in 2 or 3 laps, and he has a bunch of medium shod cars in front of him as well. So that's really good news for the top 3, the other championship contenders. Jack really comfortable in 2nd now. Still has Payan has the fastest lap now. And he is slapping 3/10 quicker than Jack. Owen's catching them a tiny bit as well. Are there any battles going on further down the field? Yeah, Harry, I'm chasing him down, so let's see how this goes. There's all sorts of battles going on actually here for the for the scraps of the points, the top 10 score points in the sprint race. These two cars couldn't be more different, to be honest. The Ford is very much a straight line car, as I was taking those corners much better than Harry there. But now Harry's just going to drive away from us, as it looks like Nobbles will lose out to Chris with this second penalty, and he'll also lose out to Hims as well. You see Harry just put another few car lengths in that really short straight on me. So basically, if this car's pretty difficult to pass as long as they can keep it on track and defend well in the fast corners. But keeping it on track is very difficult. See, you just slide all over the place with this one. There's a lot of there's a big lack of stability, and that just allows me to completely catch up by the end of this sector, which does suit my car. I'm gonna have to try and keep Chris behind me for now though, instead of worrying about Harry ahead. I'm trying to do my teammate a bit of a favour by holding up another championship contender. Yeah, Chris gets a much better exit there. Soft tyres are still the right tyres to be on, and Chris does have a better straight line speed in that Porsche compared to the Nismo. So he's going to have to go around the outside. I always try to defend the inside in corners like this that are coming up. It is pretty neck and neck though. No, Chris manages to hold it around the outside with the tyres. And now I've got Hims right behind me, who's having a bit of a recovery drive as well. Is he going to try and move down into turn one? Very dangerous to try and move down here. And he pulls out of it in the last second. See anything happening up front. Payan's lead looks to be, let's see, less than 2 seconds on Jack, and Owen is a little bit further behind those two, so he'll have to do something quite impressive in the later stage of this race with 5 minutes left to go to improve on his result. Woozy just seems to be solidly on his own. Andy's a little bit behind him but isn't really troubling him. Tap has just been really quiet so far. He's just kept his head down and he's making good progress through the field, not having to do any overtakes. He's just capitalizing on other people's mistakes, and it's rewarded him with P6 so far. And Chris is ahead of me, and it looks like Hims is going to go all the way off the track as I squeeze him to the left, but he does get the inside line. So that's 2 cars overtaking me in the exact same spot in 2 laps, which is unfortunate. But the mediums are going to start coming good right about now, because if you look at these soft tyres, they're already over 50% worn. It's going to make the car a lot more unstable to drive, and you're going to lose a lot of time, especially in these fast corners like Sector 1. But it does look like the soft strategy is clearly the optimal strategy here. Woozy, Andy and Woozy aren't going to trouble each other. Harry's looking pretty good here as we approach what I call the death corner. So many mistakes I've seen happen on that specific corner there just before the straight. It's really tricky to get handle of. And Chris is going to be chasing him down as he's trying to salvage as many points as he can after his trip into the wall. Looks like Funk is now going to try and have a run down my inside, but he couldn't get close enough here this time. he might be able to on the next straight, though, if he keeps being this close, to be honest. What my strategy basically was to get as high as possible and not make any mistakes, and then in the last couple of laps, hopefully do some overtaking on, you know, some pretty easy overtaking on cars that had absolutely no tires left. Protect the inside, see. Little bit of bumping, nothing to worry about though. Now who's going to be a bit better on braking here? Yeah, Funk does the exact same as what Chris managed to do on me, and he gets the last point as it stands. I'm going to have a look on the inside, think better of it. But Funk does go really wide and gifts me that spot back. Oh, and he's spinning as well, which allows BO to get past. Not quite Nobbles. So that's Funk's quest for the points done with, but he might get pole position for race 2. Payan looks like he's well, Jack's actually falling back into the clutches of Owen here, which is something to look out for. His tyres are completely gone. We do have this lap and one more to go. So that'll be interesting to see if Owen can do something in the last lap of the race. Meanwhile, Woozy and Andy are going to be struggling, and Tap as well, but Tap's kind of in no man's land here. Meanwhile, Chris is going to challenge Harry. Is he going to get it done? Oh, that's a pretty bad move from Chris there. Let's rewind to watch that again. Right, let's go on board with Chris. So he tries to do the exact same thing that he tried to do to me. Go around the outside. But he gets a bit of oversteer. And oversteers right into the side of Harry. Oh dear. And that's Harry all the way down in 9th, and now I'm probably am I gonna get an overtake done on him? We're both on mediums, yeah, and he goes off the track again because his tyres will be a bit dirty. I took up behind him into turn 1. I'm gonna try and get a move around the outside. Ooh, a little bit of contact again, and Harry goes off twice. Oh, I feel for him. Just really unfortunate for Harry. And now I go off. So it's not quite over yet, but we're going to have to leave this battle because we've got Payan approaching the last chicane. After a commanding drive, he's going to get pole win and fastest lap by the looks of things. He led every lap of the race as well. Utterly dominant sprint race in the Jag, which is proven to be a good combination, Payan in the Jag. Jack, his teammate from last season, is going to take home P2, just fending off Owen in the Mitsubishi in P3. Woozy, looks like Andy's caught right up to him, but just not enough. Maybe he needed another lap or two if he wanted to challenge for P4. So Woozy in P4, Andy in P5, Tap a solid P6, really good points for Jag. Chris in P7 in his Porsche, Hims in P8. And then look at this, Harry does manage to get past me and gets P9, and I'm fending for my life against Ben in P11, so I get the last point. Ben unfortunately misses out. Nobbles 12th, and Funk in 13th will get the reverse grid pole. So thanks for watching, and join me shortly when we do a review of the feature race.